really have very little to do with business. While bureaucrats can very passionately talk about the value of the entrepreneur, they truly don't ever really understand the value of the entrepreneur. So when I hear that tribute to entrepreneurship and to excellence, that tribute to scalability, and that tribute to a higher vision, a higher purpose, a higher dream, a higher mission, it brings me to the conversations that I've had continuously over the years since I founded my company in 1977, the company that was called then the Michael Thomas Corporation, then morphed into Gerber Business Development Corporation, then morphed into the eMyth Academy, then morphed into eMyth Worldwide, and then morphed into michaelegerber Companies, and the companies that in fact we're launching even as we speak today. I think about all of those tens upon tens of thousands of business owners struggling to make a living without any clue that in fact their point of view about business is what's standing in the way of them doing anything other than struggling to make a living. Standing at a bank, when I hear about a bank whose customer, whose client is the entrepreneur, in fact, small businesses, tall businesses, mid-sized businesses, and outrageous businesses, you have to understand how completely you mesh into the source of our country's extraordinary pride. I don't believe we wear that pride as well as we could. I don't believe we wear that garb as well as we could. I don't believe we wear that original vision that the founders had, true entrepreneurs, each and every single one of them, when they created this extraordinary thing. A country by the people, for the people, of the people, with the Constitution, a Bill of Rights. It's not political. That's entrepreneurial. That's not political. That has to do with the heart of and the soul of our country, which at the beginning was a testimony to God. And it was said on our money, and it was said in our buildings, and it was said in every speech that was ever given. It was spoken again and again and again and again. And somehow, we, all of us, in this transformed world, have come to disconnect from that reality. I think that's an absolute crime. I believe, in fact, that's an absolute crime, especially when I hear what you've said. I came to, you came to, the experience that I'm doing something very important. So each and every one of you will want you to say, and I want you to know you're doing something very important. And if that something that you're doing is very important, then it's transformational. If it's transformational, it's got to be scalable. As I say in my new book, The Most Successful Small Business in the World, the 10 principles, and the first principle is that every small business can be replicated 10,000 times to the degree that it's built in a right manner. I toast each and every one of you for bringing us to Huntsville, to absolutely being thrilled that we're a party and a partner to naming and proclaiming that Huntsville is the center of the universe. I want you to wear that and know that and believe in that as the very first one on a tour that we expect to take over the next 2 years, naming and proclaiming communities just like yours as the center of the universe, as the center of the universe, as the center of the universe. We can grow, we can explode with productivity and performance and creativity and imagination, and to the degree you awaken the entrepreneur within every single solitary soul in your community, you will have a transformational impact on the world beyond anything you have ever done before. So thank you for honoring me, for being here, We have, for each and every one of you, at least I believe we have 50. There are no more than 50 here. We have for each and every one of you an origination proclamation. It's a 20-minute video that I created. We have it on our website. But we decided to provide it to you so that you can hear what we mean when we say origination, what we mean when we speak about entrepreneurship, what we mean about the fundamental principles that should drive, can drive, and will drive every single one of us passionately to reinvent our country and to bring alive again America, the beautiful. Because here's where we live, and here's where we create, and here's where we grow. So I want to thank you all, and I'll speak to each and every one of you as we can. Joanne.
Thank you, Michael. One of our board members is being mentored by Michael Gerber. And she came to me one day and said, Joanne, I want to bring Michael Gerber to Huntsville. And I said, Anita, that would be awesome, but I don't think we can afford it. I was introduced to Michael Gerber and his book, E-Myth Revisited, Why Most Small Businesses Fail and What to Do About It, back in the 90s when we were launching BizTech. Since then, I have read all of his books. I recommend him to entrepreneurs every day, over and over again.